My name is Gloria Johnson. I'm a victim of court corruption and legal abuse. Um, I was a victim of sexual assault and physical abuse and emotional abuse. And my ex-husband is a registered nurse. He has a license to practice medical, and at the time he was working at the ACI in Cranston, Rhode Island. He was stealing medication and self-medicating from the ACI. He became very distraught and paranoid, and his behavior was very ill, sick. He was abused by his grandfather. He had to give him oral sex from the age of 6 to 13. I found out in his medical records. He had to be taken out of work at the time. I think it was like 2005 or 2006 by the EAP, Employment Assistant Program, and go to a psychiatrist for his delusions. I obtained his psychological records, and it stated in there that he was having horrific flashbacks, almost 24 to 30 a day, about his grandfather sexually molesting him, and he could not handle work. He also in that report stated that he still had thoughts about sexually acting out. I tried to get him help and give him help, and he just became very, very sick, and I had to get him out of the house. In 2000, latter part of 2005, I called 911 because he got into the house and he threatened to kill me and take the kids. I got out of the house and called 911. The kids were upstairs, and that's when we started the program or getting into the court system. I filed for divorce. Well, the police came and talked to the kids, and the kids were distraught. He came down the stairs with my daughter in his hands and stepped outside to talk to the police, and the police asked him and begged him to put my daughter down. She was struggling to get out of his arms, and they said, if you don't put her down, then, we're going to have to take other actions. And she was struggling, and he finally put her down, and in front of my daughter said, I want my kids to see what my fucking ex-wife is going to do, but my effing ex-wife or wife is going to do. And at that point, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I knew it was the end, and he could no longer abuse myself and my children anymore. I had to end it. He was too sick for me to even handle. There was a restraining order put in order, but prior to that, he told the police that he had no weapons, and he did have weapons. He had a 30-06, a 38, and a 44, and he had those in the home, but the guns and the bullets were separate. And when I called the police and I said, I have this awful feeling he's going to come back and kill us, they said, did he have weapons? And I said, yes. And he said, well, he didn't tell us that he had weapons. And we were instructed to get down on the floor away from the windows, and they would be on their way to get us. And the South Kingstown Police Department, 2 of them came rushing down the road and came into the house, checked the house, and we were laying on the floor upstairs. And they got us out of the house until they found him and made him turn his weapons in. And there was a restraining order intact. The pediatrician my children went to, and they went to for years, told me to have them. I didn't know what to do, so I got them into counseling because I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know my own name. I didn't even know what the hell was going on or what was going to happen. So she told me to take them up to Hasbro Children's Hospital to SafeQuest, and both my children exhibited signs of sexual abuse, mental abuse, but no physical evidence. And the doctor came over after all of that and said to me, but touch doesn't leave scars. So the night before, I was telling the kids what was going to happen. The doctor said, you know, you have to tell them what's going to happen. And I told the kids that there would be this big microscope and they're going to check out. And